Yes. Hello. Welcome back to Mik'd Up. Today is Monday, March 2nd.
Boy, is it.
We got through February into March. Weather's starting to get better. Baseball is starting to ramp up. SEC play is right around the corner. They have this weekend and I believe next weekend, and then they open on the road against Vanderbilt. LSU is coming off a 3-game 3-0 weekend. I guess the weekend's still continuing right now with the second game against Northeastern. Tonight at 6:30, that game will be somewhat live streamed here. We're going to talk it through as the game is on. We obviously can't show it on the screen, but we're going to talk it, and we're just going to give you kind of our insight as the game is being played. We're going to recap the weekend. We're going to talk about what we liked, what we didn't like. We're going to talk about this game, and then obviously what needs to happen moving forward. Yes, Lloyd?
Do you think that we could show the stream-ish? Like I could do the second camera kind of.
You tell me. We always get demonetized whenever something happens. They don't ever.
But how
miss
important
it.
is money, really?
It's pretty important.
Give the people what they want.
That's how you get paid.
But if we go through a different service that is also illegal, and then you're illegally doing it.
I don't think YouTube is.
I wouldn't do that to the man.
Yeah, you can't do that to him. We'll figure it out. We're going to give you our best insight on that. Like I said, LSU wins 3 games this weekend. 2 against Dartmouth, 1 against Northeastern. Game 2 against Northeastern is today. They play on Wednesday in Lafayette against UL. And then they have a 3-game set this weekend against, do we know who they're playing this weekend? I do know, because I have tickets to the Friday game. They are playing Sacramento State.
That's right.
Sacramento State is who they're playing this weekend for a 3-game set. Huh?
You need a date?
Potentially. I'll let you know.
Okay.
Potentially. But yeah, so we have a lot to talk about, a lot of baseball. Obviously, the NFL Combine has been going on. We're not going to dive too much into that because the game is happening. LSU players that participated in the Combine showed out. Obviously, Xavier Thomas, 4.28, second fastest 40 in the Combine. Chris Hilton, 4.4. Barryon Brown, 4.4. Nuss interviewed well. Obviously, told everybody what everybody already knew. And his throwing drills looked good. So, obviously, football is kind of taking a back seat, but the Combine is going on. Some guys made themselves some money. Some guys did not. Caden Proctor is somebody who is an absolute freak show. Big, 360 pounds, ran 5'2", jumped a 30-something inch vertical. Just kind of a freak.
Who?
Caden Proctor.
Oh, yeah, the guy
Alabama, who catches balls and runs and puts them in the running back spot. But we're not here to talk about that.
And he got fussed at at Jimmy John's after he played bad as a freshman.
Yeah, he's going to be a big-time pick. So
I think he'll be fine.
Yeah,
no more Jimmy
right.
John's in his
He'll
future.
Be all right. We're joined by producer Lloyd. He gave me a nice therapy session today. Lloyd, I appreciate that. Had a little vent sesh with Lloyd before the show started as we were talking about what we're going to talk about. We're also joined by our 2-time national champion, once in football, once in baseball, co-host of Mik'd Up, media pundit, media personality for SEC Network, just re-upped. Big. You're going to see a lot more of Jared Mitchell on the SEC Network this year. You're going to hear his voice. You're going to see his face. But you see him every day, every Monday, Wednesday, Friday here. Jay Mitch, hello.
Good afternoon, fellas. How we doing?
How are you doing?
I'm doing good. How are you doing?
Yeah.
How is Monday treating you?
Monday is Mondaying right now, and we're getting through it. Sometimes you just got to just grind through some of these downtimes, right? Some grind through sometimes when things aren't really working your way and find ways to win. And that's what LSU did this weekend.
Oh, I was going to do it for you. I'm glad you
That's what LSU did this weekend. They, like I said, they win 3 games. If you looked at the box score and you looked at the opponents that they played, you would say this is not very impressive because they didn't score a ton of runs. The games are all really close, And if you are a common fan or someone who really doesn't look at the intricacies of the game and just look at the box scores, I can see why you would think that would be disappointing. Me personally, I did not think it was disappointing. Obviously, there's more to be had offensively. I think we've seen the potential of this offense. I don't think that they've gotten to their peak yet in the first 8 games of the season. And then last week you kind of saw the offense kind of take a little bit of a siesta in the 4 games that they played. They obviously lost to Mik'd. They didn't score a ton of runs this weekend. But if you look beyond that, right, offensively, I think they had some balls that were hit hard that did not fall. And I think some things could have gone their way a little bit differently. But at the end of the day, they did not score the runs that they anticipated scoring or that they expect to score. But on the flip side, it's a team game, right? It's called complementary baseball. When one side's not doing well, you need the other side to pick you up. And then coming into this weekend or this week, the conversation with the pitching staff is, their ERA is bottom half of the SEC. They're walking too many guys, which they were. I think they're in the 125th ranked in the NCAA in walks. They shot themselves in the foot against Mik'd on Tuesday, and they haven't really shown, outside of Cooper Moore, the consistency that you wanted to see and the dominance that you wanted to see. Well, this weekend you saw that. Everybody has said, what's wrong with Case and Evans? I think Case and Evans took another step forward this weekend. It wasn't perfect. He walked 3 guys, but he also struck out 10, got through 5 1/3. He got the W. He did what he needed to do, and he progressed from what he did last weekend or the weekend before. Cooper Moore, status quo. Best start, one of his better starts of his career. Again, dominant. He was as efficient as you can be. I believe he walked 1 guy. Maybe didn't walk a guy.
He hit a guy.
He hit a guy. Didn't have a walk, but also got pitched deep into the game. I think he threw into the 8th inning. No, William Schmidt.
Yes.
Threw into the 8th inning.
That's how good it was.
William Schmidt took what he did the weekend before, 5 innings, no runs, no walks, 7 strikeouts, and he won up that this weekend. He went into the 8th inning. I believe he had 10 strikeouts. And
9.
How many?
9.
9 strikeouts?
Yeah, 7 1/3, 9.
7 1/3, 9 strikeouts, and was absolutely dominant. And so if you're going to look at this weekend, you're going to say you're going to talk about the offense and be disappointed in the offense, and you got to look at the pitching staff, and you got to be extremely excited about the pitching staff. I believe the starters only had 4 walks all weekend. I think they only had 3 walks going into Sunday.
6 all weekend.
Right, but I think going into Sunday they only had like 3, and then the starters.
2 walks by Rizzi on Sunday.
Right. So they had 4. They had 4 walks going into Sunday. They had 6 walks for the weekend. Shit ton of strikeouts. So if you're going to look at the totality of the weekend, I would much rather see the pitching be dominant than the hitting be dominant right now in the season, because at some point you're going to get into the SEC play, and you're not going to score 15 runs a game. All right. If you go beat every team this weekend 17-7, 18-8. Yeah, that looks good, but you also give up 8 runs, and you're not going to 10-run rule everybody in the SEC. So you have to have a pitching staff that keeps the other team off of the scoreboard, and LSU's pitching staff did that this weekend. So I was impressed with the pitching staff. I was happy to see the pitching staff be dominant. It feels like they're kind of getting into their groove. I have no worries about the offense. I think they're going to be fine. Jake Brown stayed hot. You had some guys work some walks and also hit some balls hard that they didn't fall. Sometimes that's the way it goes. But all in all, if I had to look at this weekend, I would say this is a success. I'd rather the pitching staff do what they did compared to the offense. Jared, what's your opinion on the weekend?
I mean, I'm pretty much in the same boat for the most part, man. Like, that was probably my one real gripe, if there was really one, in terms of what I saw from the pitching staff, was like, hey, just can we find a way to cut down on some of these walks? I know the stuff and the talent is legit. I understand who we got in these spots. I understand what kind of things they're working through. But, as you get into the year, you want to see them start to produce. And cutting that number down to only 6 walks on the weekend for the staff, I thought was pretty impressive. I thought the starters were dominant at everything that they pretty much did all weekend. Obviously, Kaysen started a little slow. The final line is exactly kind of what you would want it to be. Had you not seen it, if you're just reading the box scores, you're completely fine with everything you saw. And it was a step up from what he had been doing. You see William Smith put it together for 2 starts in a row. And Cooper's been, lights out every time he's gone out there this year so forth. So I thought that was impressive. As far as for the offensive side of it, I'm not in the least bit worried. If I'm going to sit here and be completely honest with you, I don't really care what they would have or would not have done. Let's be honest with it. At the end of the day, a weekend like this, and I mean no disrespect. I mean like literally zero disrespect. But when it's all said and done and at the end of the year, nobody's going to look at the 2 opponents that you faced this past weekend and say, yep, I knew it when you did such and such against them. One way or the other.
Right.
Let's tell the truth.
Right.
So for that being said is I don't care if they don't put up 15 runs each, because if you don't get it done at the end of the year, nobody cares. I don't care if they didn't put up 15 runs each, because if you don't get it done at the end, nobody's pointing back to this weekend saying that that's the reason why. Right. So this game, this time of the year, if we're being completely honest, those games before you start conference, I think the true mark of a really good team or teams that are pretty good is the ones that keep finding ways to win and not blowing ball games. Look, I'm not going to sit here and say you're going to win every game, but if you start blowing ball games that you should win, that's a bad sign. And I'm not saying it has to be at that point 6-7 losses going into conference play, but the losses that you do have, let's just let it be a loss. Like the loss you had the other night, last Tuesday night, right? Like that was a loss from the start. You didn't blow that loss. Like at this game starts, you walk a couple guys, they're up 7-2 by the fourth, you just fought your way back and lose 7-6. I'm okay with that, right? Like those happen. But don't get to the 8th and 9th and you're blowing because you can't throw strikes. You walk people, you're giving up hits, you're giving up this and that. Like those are bad signs for teams at this point of the year. Good signs are teams that find ways to win. So in a weekend where basically the offense doesn't show up and you find a way to only give up, I want to say maybe 4 runs on the weekend, right? The pitching staff goes out and does what it does. That's a good sign for a ball club to me, because I think ball clubs that get a chance to do that or have the ability to do that, when the offense finds its stride, when the offense gets hot, it can be dangerous when it meshes together. And I think that that's what this team has a chance to do. So the weekend is fine for me. You find a way to get wins, you move on to the next round, you survive, you advance, you move on, and you go forward.
100%, right? Like we talk about this all the time. You have 4 weekends to get ready for SEC play. Baseball is a rhythm. It is it's a rhythm game, right? The more reps you get, the more time you're out there, the better you're going to feel and the better you're going to be, right? You have one guy on this team right now that has 50 at bats. One. That's Jake Brown. He's hitting .415. Everybody else is under 50. Until you get to 100 at bats, I don't put any stock in anything. And even 100 is not a lot, right? But in college baseball, you don't have the ability, or you don't have the luxury of having a 500, 600 at bat season. So until you get to 100 at bats, I'm not concerned about anything. This is the time where you kind of figure out what you need to do, where you need to be as far as swing goes, where you need to get in rhythm. So I have no qualms with how the offense is playing. I think they're still taking good at bats. They're not chasing a whole bunch of stuff, right? Now, obviously, they had some opportunities that they didn't cash in, but they're still having good at bats. They're hitting balls hard that just aren't falling, right? That's part of the game. I ain't worried about that one bit. I think that you're going to have I think 5 more tune-up games before SEC play starts, and maybe 6 more. And I think you're going to see them obviously get back. Offense is always like this, right? With signs, like Jared said, signs of a good team is how can you win whenever you're not clicking on the offensive side? Or how are you going to win whenever your pitching staff maybe is giving up more runs than they need to, and you have to have the other side pick up. You have to have one side pick up the other, and that's what you saw this weekend. On the flip side, the pitching staff, everybody talks about, I want them to be great, I want them to be great. Yeah, you do want them to start off great. No starting pitcher has over 20 innings pitched right now. Cooper Moore leads the team with 19 1/3 innings pitched. The numbers are very skewed. I like to see the stuff. I believe Kaysen Evans' stuff looked good. Obviously, his fastball command was a little erratic. That's the one thing that I would say that he needs to continue to improve on. He knows that, right? But his stuff is good, so when he does have the fastball command, which you saw towards the end of his start, he's the ace that you expect. And he has 13 2/3 innings pitched. That's obviously due because of his doing early in the season. But I think he's fine. I think you're going to see him once you see him get to the 25, 30 inning mark, you're going to see him find his groove and be where he needs to be. Lloyd, you were at the game.
Oh boy, was I!
How was what were the vibes in the game? I can imagine it was probably pretty negative in the stands.
No, well, I somehow sequestered myself down in row 1, seat 7, right behind the umpire. So we actually were in the mindset of I could actually complain about the strike zone if I'd like to, because we're right behind it. So then we got one. Be better, Blue. But other than that, Cooper Moore was dealing.
Yep.
Like the way he operates and him being able to that's what I took away from it, was just being able to see it from that perspective and how every pitch is he can throw anything in any count. And
what's it look like in person?
Brother, like it's not the paths of the world or the the Skeens of the world where it's like physically you look like you're going to dominate. It's surgical. It's 92 to 94, but it's the 5-4.
I've seen him touch 5.
Yeah,
right?
but
5 and
he
6.
doesn't have to.
Right.
It's the mixing of the pitches that any count he threw. There's a couple of innings in a row where he was just riding with the changeup for all three guys that he got out. Like he didn't really even have to reach back and go for the fastball, and they're so off kilter of what he's going to throw that it just feels like the game is in his hands.
Right.
And it's just because of, I guess you have Casey Evans, who hasn't been a starter before, and then you have the roller coaster that's been William Schmidt. It feels like the most steady presence on the mound of I'm going to go 7 and deal. And it reminds me a bit of like John Lester, just because when I watched the Cubs, doesn't get a lot of run support, but it was always because they knew he was going to deal. So it's like if you get me 2, we're going to win.
Yeah, look, if there's a lot of different ways to have success on the mound. You don't have to throw 100 always to be a dominant starter, right? There's, Hendricks for the Cubs, talking about the Cubs.
Yeah, the doctor?
He didn't touch 90, but his fastball would move this much, and he would be able to locate, and he would do whatever he wanted to do. And now those guys don't have as much room for error, right? They can't make as many mistakes. Cooper Moore's not him. He has more velocity. He has the ability to beat you with the fastball when he needs to, but he's got 5 pitches.
Everything's a strike.
Correct. He's got 5 pitches. He forces the hitters to expand out of the zone because he pounds the zone so much. And so he's been very impressive. He's been better than advertised, I think. I was not expecting. I didn't know what to expect from him when he got to LSU. Obviously, Jay brought him in, and he was going to be a starter from when he brought him in, so he was, obviously good. I didn't know what to expect. I had never watched him pitch at length, but he's been extremely impressive in that aspect as far as setting guys up, understanding how to pitch. And then on the flip side, right, I think that's the one thing that if you looked at what if Casey can take anything from the guys, it's that. Like, hey, listen, I got really electric stuff, and I maybe have a little bit of effective wild in my game, but the more accurate and the more you can get ahead with the fastball and the more that you can establish the heater for strikes, the more likely it is for those guys to chase out of the zone. Right, because they feel like they have to go get that because you're throwing strikes, you're pumping strikes with the heater, and everything is going to look like the heater. And if I had one thing that I could say, it'd be that, right? Because if he has his fastball command, he's dominant.
And this is from our boy Renato. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. 9 of 10 Cooper Moore strikeouts were on cutters and changeups. He threw both pitches to lefties and righties off a low 90s fastball. Really nice piece to add to the arsenal for Jay Johnson. And there's also, if you look in the back, maybe you see somebody you might recognize. I don't know.
I don't know where you're at. Is that you on the right? Whoa.
Whoa.
Oh, yeah, there you are. Look at you. Look at you. Glasses on scouting.
PC principal.
Let me ask you, you're in the shadows there. Can you see?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
I want to bring this up, too, because I do think, certain little dynamics like this are important, and it's very easy to kind of undersell them and not bring them up. What you've gotten from Gavin Guidry, what you've got from Sheeran so far this year has done what to the back end of the bullpen? For now, solidified it, correct?
Right.
What you've gotten out of the Saturday start, what you've gotten out of William Schmidt the last 2 times out, which he's only been out there 3 times this year, right? has solidified the back end of the rotation. The reason why I bring that up is because you look at teams like, let's say, Texas this year, who had the freshman of the year that was a closer for him, came in the back in the bullpen. He's now their Sunday starter. You think Texas feels good about throwing someone on Friday, throwing whoever on Saturday, and being able to give the ball to that guy in what is either a sweep and or swing game for them, hopefully, situation? I think they love that, right? And so I bring that up to say, when you have guys doing what they're doing on the back end of the bullpen, and you have the back end, if you want to call it that, the back end of the rotation doing what they're doing, Kaysen has all the leeway in the world to get his shit completely right? To really get to where he wants to be. And Jay and or the coaching staff and or Kaysen doesn't have to feel that pressure of, oh man, it's not going good. Remember when he was back there? We need him back there because we're blowing games. Remember when we couldn't get wins on Friday? We need wins on Friday, so we got to move him out of there. They're finding a way to do all of these things and allowing him to get comfortable again. And I think that's really important for him to be able to move through the year like that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. And, like, if you want – that's the lineup for tonight. Lineup for tonight. But if you want to try to compare, like, his starts to some of the other guys that maybe disappointed you, in my opinion, I don't think that it is the same in the same class, right? Because he hasn't had his best stuff, and he's been able to fight through it. I know the competition is going to ramp up in SEC play, but you've seen him incrementally get better. And like Jared said, he has the ability to work through those things right now because you have a lot of depth on the mound. You have the ability to, if you need to, extend the game if he doesn't go through 5, 6, 7 innings. But you saw him in his first start. You saw him in his second start get a little bit better, and you saw him in the third start get a little bit better. Now, obviously, he wasn't as sharp as he wants to be or we want him to be, but he's gotten sharper, right? And I believe that it's going to continue to trend that way.
I'd also say this, too. For someone, if we're going to sit here and on one side of it but the competition is going to ramp up, remember, you don't have to look back too far. Look back last year. On a national championship winning team, his performance only ramped up when the competition ramped up.
Right.
So as he's getting comfortable, expect him to continue to ramp up what he's doing and his performance even as the competition ramps up. So, like, that doesn't even bother me. If anybody deserves that kind of grace and that kind of leeway, it's someone who showed you what he showed you all of last year. So I would give him that in this situation as well.
Correct. And on the flip side, offensively.
Well, real quick before we get there, because Jay did give a little bit of the media some homework to do, it's like compare Kate Anderson's second and third starts to Kaysen Evans, and you'll notice they're very similar if Kaysen continues his progression.
Correct. And Cade's he struck out the side in his spring training debut.
The Major League Baseball.
21st rated prospect in all of baseball.
And
pretty
so,
good.
I don't think we're that concerned about Kaysen Evans.
He's pretty good.
But
Kaysen's
people are
gonna
so
be just
quick
fine.
to jump on him because you're so used to seeing Kaysen Evans, Luke Holman, Paul Skeens that are.
Here's yeah. It's just you have to give him some time, right? If he was going 2 and 3rd innings and he was walking 6 guys and he was giving up 4 runs, okay, we have some concern there. But he's not. He's gotten through 5 the last 2. Or he's gotten 2-5 the last 2, and I think he's only getting better. But on the offensive side, I want to bring this up, right? I talk about when you look at the numbers. The name of the game is getting on base and driving guys in, right? Scoring runs. You got to score runs to beat teams. I get
simple game. It's not easy.
100%. And you can look at the numbers that you're seeing this weekend, and you're like, well, they're not scoring runs, sure, right? But why aren't they scoring runs? Let's get into that, right? Are they chasing out of the zone? Are they striking out a ton? Are they having bad at-bats? I would say no. Yeah, did they pop up a little bit too much this weekend? Sure.
Shadows.
Part of it. And I'm not going to give excuses. Shadows are a bitch. It's hard to kind of lock in, but I'm not going to build that excuse in, right? Both teams play, you got to figure it out. But when I look at the numbers, right, and I watch them, I see a lot of balls barreled. I see a lot of balls being put in play. If you go look at the lineup, the guys who have the majority of the at-bats, there's only 2 guys in this lineup that have double-digit strikeouts. One's Cade Arambidi, right, with 12. The other one is Derek Curiel with 11. I think we all saw last year Derek Curiel doesn't strike out a ton. I don't expect these strikeout numbers for Curiel to continue to rise. I believe that it's going to even out. It's going to level out. And, he's hitting 292, right? So I tell you all of that because just because you're not necessarily getting hits and maybe falling into some bad luck, you're still putting together competitive at-bats. And you're giving yourself a chance. And the more times you do that, the easier it's going to be for you to get out of a downturn in the offense and start getting hits and start driving guys in. So that is a big reason why I'm not nervous. Right, my junior year going into the SEC play, I was hitting 280. I felt great, but my numbers didn't show it. Now I had good at bats. I was barreling balls up, and it ended up working out, and it worked in the SEC. It played great. I say that because there's more to look at it than just the raw numbers. Like, use your eyes. Are they barreling balls up? Curiel hit 2 balls on the nose that the guy dove and made diving catches on, right? Like, you had a line out at first base. You had things happening that were like, okay, you just can't control it. All you control is putting a good swing, and you can't control where it goes after that. And that's what I saw this weekend. The game
I'm fine with that.
A little bit.
And like I said, I brought this up this morning with Lloyd, and I said, look, one, this is your 3rd weekend playing. No one had a problem at all with what the offense did and how they swung it last weekend. I get it, 3 games in a row, but if I told you they had this weekend and you knew for sure that a weekend like this was coming and it came this weekend as opposed to week 5 or week 6 or week 7 or the SEC tournament or the regionals somewhere down the line, I think anybody and everybody would take that, right? Like, that's not even a question. I think you knew these kind of weekends were come. You would rather see them earlier than later. And I'm sure there's another one that's going to come down the line, but I don't care. Once again, for me, it's all about finding ways to win. So if your pitching staff is going out there doing what they need to do to keep you in the game, find a way to win on offense. And they did those things. And that's the mark of a good ball club to me.
Correct.
And here's I just wanted to show the starting lineup for tonight and get y'all's thoughts on it.
Pretty status quo.
Well, Jake Brown has never let off.
Well, yeah. I'm talking about as far as the bodies in there. Obviously, the lineup construction looks a little different. I think this is a way for you put your hottest hitter at the top of the lineup, and you give Curiel kind of get into that 2-hole, and potentially allow him. Oh, Pearson is the new one.
Yeah,
Pearson is the new one.
York DH and give him a day off.
Right. Is there a lefty pitching?
Righty.
Okay. All right. I like the lineup. I have no problems with it. I think Pearson has earned his right to kind of get some more at bats. Every time he comes in, it feels like he hits a homer or hits the ball in the nose. Dardar's had a good start. The left field situation is interesting for me. Okay,
waiting for somebody.
Correct. It is a revolving door right now, which everybody's going to get the opportunity. Obviously, Simpson's getting the opportunity. You have Braun get some opportunity out there. Braun played left field, right, this weekend, one game? He came in as an outfielder first baseman. So I don't know. I could be wrong in that. I thought maybe I saw him out in the outfield. Maybe it was
Curiel DH.
Curiel DH.
Yes.
He was in the outfield. And so you have
options,
right? Now 2 of the 3 options are infielders. Really, all 3 of the options are infielders before Stanfield gets back. But that's an interesting situation for me. I want to see kind of who's going to take control of that position, right?
Well, when we say take control, what are we really talking about here? Because Stanfield's getting that position when he comes back. So what does take control look like? Do we think that there's someone that can basically supplant Stanfield just by him not being available right now? Because I personally right now don't think that's going to happen.
No. I don't believe that. I think when I say take control, I mean take control of that spot before, like, as a placeholder until he gets back, right? Like somebody where you say, you're the left fielder right now, you're swinging it, we can't take you out the lineup. You've earned the right to get to earn that spot
every day and let
Stanfield come back, and then now you make a decision harder on Jay, right? Hey, I can't take this guy out. Where am I going to put him? That's what you want to see, because I think the other spots for the most part are pretty solid.
Well, second base.
Yeah, but Dardar's. He struggled defensively this weekend,
And
but Dardar offensively obviously has been swinging it.
Yeah, he made 2 errors, I believe, on Friday,
Yep.
And so they took him out. They made him DH, and then Simpson came in and played second base, and you saw the shifting that Jay did, which made it a little bit easier as he moved, as he called it. It's like you want Michael Jordan guarding your best offensive player. So if I think they're pull heavy, I'm going to put Milam at second base essentially with the shift. And so you kind of eliminated a problem in a different way, where it's not Daniel Dickinson ain't walking through that door.
Correct.
And it's not going to be as good as you were up the middle as you were last year. And so after Dardar makes 2 errors on Friday, he makes the shift to put Simpson in, but it's also a de facto shift to put Milam at second almost. And he would flip Carraway and Simpson also and put Carraway at short and Simpson like at the rover type deal. So it was just a different way to kind of – and that's what I think the beauty of Jay's mind is for baseball is he's putting you in the best position to win.
Right.
And he knows that Milam could play second. He's played it before. And he's your most comfortable infielder that you have right now.
Well, I think he's got
maybe the best in the country.
I think he's got a lot of confidence in Ruckert coming in there and playing shortstop.
Absolutely.
So, there's options. I don't think you want to move Milam off of short because he's been
no.
so good.
It was just for the shift.
Right.
Yeah.
Correct. But listen, Dardar's swinging it. But if the defense does not, satisfy what Jay is looking for, or he feels like he needs. Don't be shocked if Ruckert gets a lot more run at second.
Yeah.
Right? Because he gets in almost every game because he can run and he's a good defender. So Jay's got confidence putting him in the games back in the back end of games. So, there's spots for Dardar to have at bats, and I believe that he's going to continue to get at bats because he's been outstanding. He has 14 walks with only 4 strikeouts. He's hitting 300 on the year. But if there's how much are you going to sacrifice the defensive side? And I think there's a way you can play both of them. Cooper Williams on the bump right now, by the way.
I'm pretty interested in seeing how this thing goes tonight with Jake Brown and with Derek Curiel and how they move it around. Now I can sit here and tell you, I'm not necessarily for it. I'm not necessarily against it. I would probably say if anything, I lean more towards. If you're as hot as Jake Brown is, or you're as locked in as he is, I would probably lean towards leaving you are and doing what you're doing. But I'm not opposed to giving you. At this point, too, the game is not necessarily more fastballs when you get to the top of the lineup. But I do think there is, if you have a potent lineup, if you have a strong lineup, you inherently should be getting more pitches over the center of the plate. Right? Because we can't really mess around with trying to fidget on the edges with you because we don't want to just give bases to someone who can run with a lineup behind him who can drive him in. So I'm not going to sit here and say you'll get more fastballs by being at the top, but you should theoretically get more pitches over the middle of the plate. So I'm okay with it, right? The Curiel thing with, somebody who hasn't historically struck out as much as he's striking out right now, if you want to call it that, I don't expect that to continue. But I do expect that if you got somebody on in front of you who's swinging it that well, and you got some thumpers behind you, guys that can swing it behind you, he's going to get more over the center of the plate. And now, hopefully that can kickstart him and really get him going to what we're used to seeing as well.
Correct. Cooper Williams gets the first 2 guys out. I think first guy flew out, second guy chopper to third base, gets thrown out. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm sorry. For the offense, do you know what WRC plus is? Because there is a stat that has come out from our guy Reach.
Yes, that is a
weighted runs created
yep,
plus.
That's a big Major League Baseball stat. So basically, I don't know what goes into it, but anything over 100 is really good.
It's an all-encompassing advanced baseball metric that measures the hitter's total offensive contribution for league, ERA, and park factors.
Yeah,
so it's your offensive value compared to the rest
correct.
of the
It's like the
country.
WAR. It's
an offensive WAR.
Yeah. Well, it's obviously Jake Brown's. I mean, it shows you what he's doing. But Seth Dardar is right behind him. He's having a great start. Like I said, I'm not worried about it. If you go look at the bottom, Derek Curiel's at the bottom. That is definitely going to change. Not worried about it one bit. Cooper Williams struck out the third guy, gets out the inning, 3 up, 3 down, exactly what you want to see. Now let's see the offense go out there and start humming. Do some things.
Also, three very good picks in the first 4 for, if you're interested in offensive baseball.
Say it again?
So 3 very good picks if you're interested in offensive baseball for a fantasy team.
Whatever
perhaps.
makes you feel good through 3 weeks of a season, baby.
Yeah. We're going to do this all year. Mikey's over there late in the weeds. He's got the lead right now.
Listen, you just got to keep chugging
Keep plugging away.
You know what I mean? Like, it's a long season. It's a long season.
What are you doing over there?
Ordering some formula for my wife.
Oh, nice.
We ran out.
Peptides for the baby.
Speaking of peptides,
Did you see Bryce Harper talking about
McAfee in spring training. Great sign.
He kept fucking with him.
Bryce Harper's a great interview.
Yeah, you can tell. Very
Bryce Harper
comfortable.
gets it. He's a good dude. And Bryce Harper says what everybody.
Thanks.
Yeah, like I wish we could take peptides. Like, why can't we do something that's really not going to enhance? I mean, I say enhance.
It's good for recovery.
Don't give me steroids or don't give me HGH stuff, but let me get some stuff that I can recontract. We're playing 162 games. We're traveling all the time.
Do you want to see me play or not?
You know, like in part of the game, like have the best players be at their best always. That's better for the product. All right. Great that McAfee's on there though. Good exposure.
That was cool for baseball because he has no idea what he's talking about.
No, but it's like I think they did it the right way, right? Have it up there, have some energy to it, and have the right guys. Obviously, he brought Boris on there as well.
That was awful.
Gotta have him on there. I get it. Boris is
boring.
You don't hear Boris speak a ton until there's a.
You don't see Boris ever.
Right.
Ever. I didn't even know that's what he looked
You only
like.
see Boris whenever there's he has a bunch of free agents in the offseason, or right before the CBA conversation.
Holdout.
Because
Lockout.
he obviously carries a lot of weight within baseball. He is obviously representing the players. And so he goes out there and he tries to create the narrative, which is good for the players. And so you don't see Boris unless you have to see Boris.
And if you have to see him, you should be weary of what's coming down the pipe for baseball.
Yeah, listen, it's
I
going
will
to be.
tell you this, though, he did bring up a very interesting proposal, which I would have to go back and listen to it again, but talking about how everyone else in sports or in like these things all have measurements or metrics that they're measured by in success or not success, except for the owners. Meaning, like, here's your sports franchise. Is it successful or is it not? No, they just get to be owners, make all the money off of it, but it doesn't matter if there's success or if there's not. And he was talking about a way of basically trying it's not even. I don't even know if it was. I don't remember if it was like a relegation thing, but basically saying like, hey, these are metrics that we could be basically measuring these owners off of, and if your organization is not meeting this, you don't get the same perks as the rest of the organization, basically.
Right.
Which I thought was very interesting because something like that maybe could work. And like I said, it wasn't all like it was maybe, hey, if you don't meet these metrics, your luxury tax pay is higher, or you have to pay more percentage in luxury, or something. It was all kind of stuff he was talking about.
Correct. Right. And like obviously the things that he brings up are all very, very player heavy, which is good, right? But it brings up very good points to have conversations, and not everything is going to be accepted. But I think it's a good start. Have these conversations is a good start to have. Hey, okay, now these are things that we're concerned about. These are things how we feel like we can fix the competitive balance of baseball, and what do these make sense? How can we make this work, right? And so it's a great conversation to have, and it's great points to be made, and it's great to have a guy with the following of Pat McAfee go out to spring training and allow them to have a sounding board, because there's a lot of people that follow him and look at him. And so the CBA is very much negotiated behind the scenes, but it's also negotiated in the media as well. You're going to start seeing a lot of things being pushed out by the commissioner and by the owners about why they're poor, all this kind of stuff. But it was
That's business.
I thought that was very interesting. Speaking of business, Jake Brown flies out.
Why somebody pop up so far?
It's just part of it.
Sometimes.
Listen, like it's a new age baseball, right?
I just know one thing that pisses coaches off, at least whenever I was in school.
Yeah, is lazy fly balls. Also, routine ground balls, right? Curiel grounds out to second base.
He's all right. He does have a hole in the hat for his pen.
A hole?
Like he has a little
They made a custom hat.
Yeah.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Is that like a
Because
thing?
wasn't that us talking about it?
That coaches what?
I think we talked about this. I was like, I wonder if he has like a pin slot for his hat, and they made him one this year.
All right, that's good.
That's good. Hey,
that's great.
HWA.
I'm not a.
I've never seen it until I've seen him do it.
The pin in the hat.
Yeah.
Oh, I see a lot. I mean, Pete Golding does it. There's a
that
lot of.
Does not count.
But there's a lot of coaches that have the pins, especially in baseball, because there's a lot of charting.
Right.
So a lot of the coaches will put the pins in the hat to be able to chart whether pitcher in, available, out, take it, whatever, cross out.
I never noticed the pin slot at all.
I never noticed the pin slot either.
It's this year. It's new. But he always had,
LSU goes 3 up, 3 down.
Yeah, that was awful. He's always put it in his hat, and then it made it look funky on his head, and then so they made an adjustment. Our guy Poggi, that works for the field crew, noticed it.
Okay.
And asked him about it.
Nice.
And
attention to detail.
Also in the loss, 2-pin throws.
Like to see the energy.
Yep, there you go.
I like to see.
When were the pin throws? That's the real question. If you remember, can you name what was going on in the game?
No, it wasn't me. It was our guy Poj that works for the field crew. But I can go back and look through the text actually and let me know. I think it was around the 5th inning. So it was, obviously things weren't going great. So it's more of it was either.
Did the TV catch this or did
no? This is just he sits in the like that little booth where they put like the field crew. Yeah. So he just watches. That's what he picks up on, which I appreciate the insight.
Yeah, no doubt.
It's insider information.
No doubt.
But I'd imagine
insider information from the named source.
Yeah. Well, I think Poj is on his 5th year on the field crew. I think he's very confident in his role.
Just snitching on him. Good.
It's crazy.
He said it on the show. So
it's crazy. Is like I'm glad they have a field crew now. We didn't have a field crew. Whenever it was like raining, it was.
Oh, I remember that.
Freshmen had to go and pull the tarp.
Yeah. Or like after the game, you go rake your own spot.
Which is what? No, we didn't have to do that. But like, you had a field.
They fly private everywhere now. What'd you expect?
Well, so did we. We actually started that. Maneri was the one who said, "Hey,
10?
I don't know if you did in 08, but 09 we flew private everywhere."
No, we didn't. We still drove some places.
Oh, we drove, but
everywhere.
Whenever we flew, we were flying private. Is what I mean.
Yeah.
So we flew.
I know that.
We flew to three. We flew to three. The only places that we drove were to Alabama and Mississippi. So both schools and both of the school spots is where we would drive. Take the bus.
Are they still driving to Alabama and Mississippi?
No.
That's my point.
No. But we did get the private planes whenever we were flying.
They fly to Lafayette?
No. They take the bus. I enjoyed the bus rides. The 5-6 hour bus rides are not bad. I enjoyed those.
We're pushing.
I enjoyed those.
3. I can do 3. I think they get accustomed, or people certainly, Sword. You get accustomed to a certain life of luxury. You like to fly private when you can, and I understand private aviation. So getting on the bus for a 5-hour trip probably
correct.
We could have been here in 2.
I get that for sure.
But it is a sense of camaraderie, and you should have to go through some shit.
I mean, look, the bus rides. I've had a lot of fun on bus rides.
Me too.
Wow.
Let's see how this goes.
Be safe. Probably should have let the second baseman get that one. Ground ball to the second baseman, a little soft. Pearson gets off his position, fields it cleanly. Very far off the bag. Obviously, the pitcher's got to cover, which he did.
Oh, shifted.
And the runner beat him out, right?
Are we sure?
Yeah, he didn't touch. Cooper Williams didn't touch first, but he was safe anyway. That one is probably second baseman probably should field that.
I think I wanted to see if they were shifted or not. If he was,
but Dara was there.
Yeah.
Listen, that is an experience thing, right? You figure out what balls you can or should or shouldn't go after. I learned that the hard way whenever I played first base the one time. But yeah, so that was I guess they would call that an infield single, and then Cooper Williams just threw it away. Now a guy on second base, no outs.
With 9 pitches.
9 pitches. And he's looked good. Obviously, that was not good. Throwing it over to first, threw it away.
Let's just throw that thing to the plate, huh? Let's just stay, right down that. Let's just stay right
here. He's throwing it great to the over the plate.
Yeah, let's do that one again.
Let's just stay right here, huh? I don't want to do all that.
Yeah, he looks good on the mound. That was obviously not great.
And you're putting Pearson in a tough spot. Talking about somebody that hasn't played first.
Well, that wasn't on Pearson. That was a bad.
No,
thing.
I'm just saying you're putting him in a
Yeah.
bad spot, as people are going to point that he hasn't played the position yet, and they're going to look at it like pickoffs. I mean, Barrett Jones. We didn't say it out loud because we didn't want to give away any trade secrets, but he was like, "I absolutely hate when pitchers pick off."
A lot of first basemen hate.
You're right,
when pitchers
and
pick
it just
off.
don't expose me.
Speaking of, remember when we were on the show and Zach York was on the show and we were talking about first base and I said, "Hey, be careful when the sun sets. It's hard." That happened this weekend. The pitcher had to field it and threw it, and he could not.
Oh, he
see
couldn't
the
see
ball.
it. Yeah.
Yeah. Tough. Look, it's more. There's more to it than what you see.
Is there a design flaw in the box? Like, should it be that?
And base it up the middle.
Send him or no? Send him or
Yeah,
no?
of course
Send
you're
him or no?
sending them. Northeastern up 1-0 in the second inning.
Pack it up. Let's end this show.
Yep, it's over.
Never mind.
It's over.
Pitching is terrible, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Terrible, huh? It's not good.
You really trust the guy at the helm?
Yeah, does he make the right? Is he making the right decisions? Listen, baseball's a hard sport. I'm not making excuses.
None of
They
these balls have been hit hard.
No, this guy the guy that scored should have been out, right? That was a decently hit ball up the middle on the ground.
He stays on first. That's a double play.
Right, and that also brings me to the other point of our other pitching staff. The outside of the 2 homers that they've given up, I believe they've only given up 2 solo homers. Case and Evans hasn't really given up a lot of hard contact, right? And so, there's a lot of things that go into it. That's some bad luck that goes into it. Swinging bunts.
Bap it.
Now you put yourself in some situations to be able for them to cash in on those like bloopers or soft hit balls whenever you walk guys. But baseball is it's a fickle game. There's a lot of ways to lose it or win it, and some things you just can't control. You can make the best pitch, and the guy can cap it, and he can spin, and he can just somehow stay fair and infield single. It's part of it.
If you can't, well, the way that I always remember it is if you can't score one, you can't win.
Yeah, they're gonna have to score to win.
You have to score at least
You're
one
gonna have
to be able to win the
one
game.
at least to win the game, and so I would imagine they're gonna score some runs today. The 1-0 does not concern me.
If they don't score,
Then it's not. People are going to be not happy.
but we will remain the same.
We will remain the same.
Big one for UL.
I believe they're going to
L.
score. What, this weekend? I mean,
Oh.
Wednesday? Oh yeah, at home. Listen, a place to go to get your swing back. Jesus, another six hopper to the infield. A good place to go to kind of get hot is UL.
Really? L.
The Teague is a great backdrop for hitting. Like
Great back.
they have all the trees.
Very clear.
It is a great backdrop to hit. I always enjoyed playing there. The few times that I did play there, and so that's a good spot. I would not be shocked if you. I mean, I think they're going to score some runs here, but I wouldn't be shocked if you saw them kind of get the bats going on Wednesday.
Yeah.
Meeting of the minds. Nate Yeski.
Over under 1 run in this inning. 1 more run. You got 2 on, nobody out.
Here's your guy, Cowan, in the bullpen.
Do you think they'd throw Ricken on Wednesday?
I think it just depends on what happens out of this game.
You see 10.
You may have to. I mean,
You'll see Garcia.
you're going to see whoever you need to see to win the game. I firmly believe that.
See, I didn't know if they were going to think that the ULL game would
No,
mean.
they're not. He's not. This is the only game he's thinking about
I
right
know
now.
that.
It's the only game.
Long arms.
Listen, he's
He
making
hasn't pitched bad. I mean,
he's
shit,
just-
we're 9 pitches in. It's hard to judge somebody, but he's been throwing
I
strikes.
mean, he's given up 3 ground ball singles. One of them should have been out. 2 of them just found their way through. Part of it. Now right here, you have to go rebound, and you've got lefty. Don't get too slick with this guy, and go after him. Make this guy put the ball in play. Ground ball could potentially get you 2. They're hitting the ball on the ground. Double play ball is obviously his best friend. Lefty, great opportunity for him just to go. Oh, he's going to bunt.
He's going to bunt.
Smart by him.
Pitch to contact.
Here's the deal: let him bunt it.
Mm-hmm.
Let him bunt it.
Let them.
But yeah, it's part of the game. Part of the game, dude.
What do you think about the purple with the pennies? Little mix and match.
He's done that before, right?
Uh-huh.
Yeah. I don't mind it. I like the pennies. I'm glad they wear the pennies on the weekend.
Me too. Got to see him too.
Yep.
Always a thrill.
All right.
Okay.
Let's go. Fill it up.
He's trying to get over there to cover.
Fill it up. Don't worry about it. Get the out. Make the guy bunt it.
And you contend, I think both of you contend that the fastball is the hardest pitch to bunt. Not because, obviously lower level, everybody thinks like throw a curveball, it'll pop it up.
Yeah, I mean, I think that
Depends on the pitch speed.
yeah. But you gotta throw strikes. When the guys
Higher velo is definitely harder to bunt. Let's just be honest.
Yeah,
with you. Like
no doubt.
anything that's coming harder, whether it's straight, whether it moves, that's the hardest thing. It's the hardest thing to bunt.
This guy's hitting 188.
Correct. He's trying to bunt. And when he's trying to bunt, you've got to just let him bunt it. Make him make the right play. Can't give him a free pass.
Now he's swinging.
He's not swinging. He's taking.
Oh, my
that
God.
is a wild pitch, but he walks. So now bases loaded, no outs. Not the start that we needed to see, that they wanted to see.
Oh, they just haven't opened.
Now, at this point, bases loaded, no outs.
Better than what
One
you
run.
just were.
Worry about giving up. Don't worry about trying to get out the inning with no runs given up. No more runs given up. Worry about just getting out the inning with limited damage. Greg Maddox, we've talked about this a lot. Greg Maddox had an interview. He said, whenever I had base loaded, no outs, I wouldn't change how I would approach these hitters. I would just, in my head, all right, I'm going to give up one run. Right? I'm going to go out there. I'm going to get the guy out, and I'm going to worry about not giving up a double or cashing in. I'm just going to pitch the way I've been pitching and try to limit them to one run. And he goes, more times than not, you get out of the inning with no runs because you're not changing the way you're approaching these hitters. Here is the same situation. Listen, go get this guy. Get the first out. I don't care. I don't care if he hits the ball 402 feet to dead center. Go get the first out. And then you go from there.
Whittle away.
That's it. Also, double play ball would be great. But you gotta get to the ball to the plate. Yeah, it's 5 straight balls. If you're an A&M, they'd be yelling.
Or your guy. If it was the other
Not
guy.
just 5 straight balls, too. It's 5 straight balls that have missed.
Uncompetitive. Oh, he's done. He's
Very
over.
wide
He's
margin.
over.
Yeah, that ball's out of the hand.
He's
And
over.
that's when it becomes a problem.
He's over it. This is how. This is Jay making a point.
He's been doing this.
Right. Hey, listen. If I can't trust you to go throw strikes, I can't trust you on the
I don't want to
ball.
be here for this long.
Look at him. He is not happy.
Well, he can pitch Wednesday if he wants.
Not happy. Cooper Williams is great. He's been great. He's going to be great.
Just hasn't had it
Not
yet.
a great start.
And the same thing happened to him the last time he pitched. He got yanked at he hit a guy, and then this is what, look, I don't know what the action, I wasn't there, but Rance was saying, I believe it was Ronnie, that he came out of the dugout and approached the field, and if you come out as the pitcher, you can't make a change, so he had to face one more guy, and then they yanked him. But this is the second time that Jay has been not as thrilled with the walks.
Well, and here's the deal, dude.
Don't do it.
There's a standard. Right?
Yeah.
And I know you're not trying to walk guys, right? It's part of it, but
You don't have to be that fine.
listen, if there's an opportunity, and you're getting the opportunity, and the standard is you're gonna have to go out there and force them. You can't give them free passes. That's been a very common, not theme, but that's been the point of emphasis on Jay since Wednesday since Tuesday is no walks. Make them swing it, right? Let them ground ball you to death, right? Let them single you to death.
You weren't doing anything wrong.
It's easy to talk about this, man, but if you don't even have to look further than Ianson and Cade last year. Cade Anderson, Anthony Ianson, back to back. The reason why they were so successful, the reason why they helped the pitching staff so much is because they just pounded the zone with everything that they threw. And they pitched in and around the zone with a lot of conviction, right? And they were able to get themselves deep into ball games by doing it, which then allowed the staff to be able to kind of save themselves for very late in the game on those days that they pitched or very late in the series, and they had a lot of guys left for the rest of it. It is essential, and I know it sounds very simple, but it's essential to get up there and pound the zone and let your stuff work for itself. And when you can't do that, that's when you really start not only to hurt yourself and put up runs and give away free bases, but you start hurting the staff as well, because now we got to start using and or getting guys hot in situations where we don't need to be getting guys hot. Like, let's just say you're able to get out of it right here. Well, Zach's already gotten hot. So there's a good chance that you're going to get him hot again later in the day, or you just kind of got him hot going for nothing. When really you'd be like, man, I'd like to not have to throw him or not have to throw him until after the 7th inning today.
Yeah, 100%. And obviously, look, big opportunity for Cowan to go out there and get back right, get out the inning, have a long outing. Big for you, Lloyd.
This is big for me.
It's big for you for your fantasy team.
I have dubbed him the milkman. He always delivers.
Okay.
Cowan.
I wish you could go back to that. I wish like the milkman was
Milkman don't deliver anymore, but okay.
Because milkman, a lot of kids that didn't end up being
the milkman.
That was the thing.
I hope this takes off. I just thought of it.
Yeah. We're gonna talk through the inning. Continue. Obviously, first
pitch, dollar strike. Dollar take.
First pitch, double play.
Oh, that would be excellent. He's not swinging.
Take.
Well,
2-0 count.
do you not? I mean, who coached you?
Listen,
If somebody just
bases juiced,
bases
no outs.
loaded, yeah, you take to.
I was assuming this guy was not going to be thinking baseball and just try to get a little overzealous.
A little itchy?
Yeah. Fastball.
I was taking again.
Oh, I would take now. It's 6 straight balls, 7 straight balls. Oh, look, see?
Well, there we go. Throw it all. Oh no, Pearson.
Oh no.
Clapper.
Oh no. Little cue ball.
There's a spin on it.
Yeah,
That's not
cue
Pearson's
ball.
fault.
No. He was trying to go home with it. Cue ball. Didn't field it.
That is spinning.
This is
he had the right idea.
This
Good
is
feet.
a disaster of a start.
He won't be there again, probably. This is the Bear Jones at third base, where people are just going to point to this and be like, he can't do it. But I think
Well, here's the deal.
He can.
Here's the deal. Here's the deal. Offense needs to step up.
Yeah, hit a homer.
Just go out there and start scoring some runs. Have some of that. Sometimes maybe this is what they needed. Maybe they needed a little like, hey,
Kick in the ass.
we are looking like shit. We got to go and pick somebody up. Strike.
Still
All right.
Get seats back.
We're not going to be able to watch the entire game here.
Oh.
We're going to have to do it. We're going to have to get to the seggies. I have to.
Let's get out of this inning.
Okay, I know. My baby's got to get fed.
You got the formula on the way.
Yeah, but it's
How's
gonna be
how's
a little
Rome?
later. What?
How's Rome doing?
Oh, I thought you said, how's the room? I was like, huh? I was like,
the
you were
room's
asking
elite.
me.
Yeah.
Man, my guy's living, man. He's just doing his thing.
Yeah.
Got 1-1 count. LSU down 2-0. Bases still juiced.
Eating.
No outs.
Sleeping, shitting.
The things that babies do.
Yeah. That's basically a cat.
Gotta get out this inning with limited damage.
I'd like to see more hit pitcher friendly count. And the thing is, nothing has been hit hard.
Nothing
You're
has been
beating
hard.
yourself.
Yeah, you had one ball that was hit probably up the middle that was decent.
Strike.
Nope, 3-1. All right, see how far he can hit it.
Yeah, I don't think you can.
See how far he can hit this. Because this is what you do. You give him free passes. You don't play good defense. You get behind the counts. And now teams like this have the opportunity to go and run into a fastball with a bases clearing double.
Good pitch.
Good pitch. Good pitch.
Because my thing is, I would almost rather, not necessarily give up a grand slam, but clear the bases so you can reset. Because that's how 4 sometimes is not the biggest number you can do. Sometimes a 4 can turn into an 8.
Correct.
Yeah.
There you go. Good. Struck him out. Swung a ball 4 there. Little off-speed pitch.
It was nice.
Little off-speed pitch there.
Kind of surprised it wasn't. I guess maybe they're saving Newt for Wednesday. Maybe?
First out's the most important out in this situation, right?
It's like,
Bases loaded, especially if you get a punchy. Now you have an opportunity to really limit the damage.
double play gets you out of it.
Double play gets you out of it, but you got to pound the strike zone.
Changeup is back. That was a good one.
What do you got right here? What do you got right here?
He does
Change
not
up.
care.
First
Change up
pitch,
again.
swinging or taking?
Oh, he's swinging.
Oh,
he's
swung it so
swinging.
hard he threw his bat.
I was dominating our boys in our. I think we're like, you're good competition.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah,
Thanks.
you beat me.
I
at
understand
it.
the game.
Yeah,
Yeah, I appreciate that.
dollar take. Or is he too embarrassed? He's gonna swing again.
No, he's going. I'd go dollar swing.
Dollar take.
What do you think, Jared? Swing or take?
I got to take here.
Okay.
I got to take here. I think he's throwing another changeup, and I think this was going below the zone. I think he's taking here.
I like the changeup call.
I think
I've seen him throw it 5 times in a row at some point, so like he ain't afraid to throw it again right now.
Fastball, ball.
Now it's
So y'all both won the take.
Now it's dollar swing with a changeup.
Okay. Put in play or not.
No, just swing over the top of it. Jared just
So
hit,
dollar swing,
not wrong, just early.
Dollar swing, miss.
Yes,
I got dollar swing, ball and play.
love that.
Dollar take, another changeup below the zone.
He's not throwing the changeup. He's throwing
Yanked
fastballs again.
Jared could be ahead of us, and really just.
No, he's
I'm
not,
actually behind
yeah.
you.
I'm just saying.
behind you
I'm just saying you could be ahead of us and really just take all of our
dominate
money.
the game.
Yeah. Like, damn, Jared's 50 for 50. What is going on here?
This guy's really called
Now's
out.
the changeup and but a
2-1.
dollar take. Oh, nice. There's a changeup though.
Hold on.
Come on,
Hold
Pearson.
on. Hold on.
Oh, get away from it.
Yep.
Don't
Good
do
call.
it.
That a boy,
No
Dardar. Call him off.
Oh, hammy?
What is going on? All right, 2 outs. Have an opportunity to limit damage. This would be a huge. I don't give a shit who they're playing, what the records are. Situation would be huge to get out of this situation with only 2 runs given up.
Yes.
Oh, yeah, that's good.
These are the at-bats that change baseball games.
Correct. Teams that come through in these opportunities or these situations usually win the game. Teams that do not usually lose the game. I got dollar swing.
I'm with you. Oh, little Ronnie back there. I hear him.
He's got the old Giancarlo Stanton stance. Super closed. Just hope he doesn't hit like him.
This is old Fernberg.
There's a lot more guys swinging like this.
Oh. Man. Come up, hook him! Hook him!
2-run single.
All right.
Ball's hit hard.
Let's get to the seggies.
Ball's hammered. I ain't gonna lie to you.
The ball's hit hard. Right through the shift. I don't think it would have mattered. Actually, let's see. Actually, it would have mattered. That was right to the shortstop. But can't do that. Can't say, oh, the shift, you know. They got the ground ball into the shift. They just hit it too hard through the shift. All right, mistake of the day. The start of the game.
No, I have a mistake of the day. And it is. Bump, 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 bump. Let's see what I put in that dog here. Oh, yeah, this is a good one. I think this is true. I haven't paid that much attention. Oh, fuck! It already got
Taken
all right,
off.
but I have 2, which
Okay.
is the best thing about me when
prepared.
I'm prepared. I was prepared today for some reason. I don't know why. I sent the doc early.
You were? I mean, I was shocked.
Me too.
I
like,
love that. Love that about
Well, I
you.
don't like to do it often
Why?
because then the expectations are a hell of a drug.
Huh.
But-
Well, now I expect it.
Yeah, exactly. So it's
I
like
want
a
it.
surprise. And then you're like, oh, maybe he should be doing this job. But the mistake of the day goes to UConn and Massachusetts hockey. Big time deal up there. Overtime. And, you know, there's one of 2 ways. You want everybody on board, right? Home team, whether it be the staff, whether it be the guy that maybe runs the lights, maybe coach, team, player,
Right.
anything. And so if you get to a point in the game where golden goal situation here. UConn going the other way against Mass. Let's cut the
Oh my
lights
God!
off.
You didn't even see it.
They stopped play. They had a breakaway to go the other way to golden goal in overtime.
They stopped play?
Yeah.
I thought the camera went out. The lights
No, the
actually
lights
went out?
in the arena went out.
Where are they playing?
They're at Massachusetts, and
And
UConn's
UConn
going
was-
the other way.
Oh,
You want
hey,
everybody on board.
Listen, that could be a curtain call.
Yeah, it was. I was like, this could go either way, but then my mistake of the day was taken away because it was fake.
Wow, that's tough. That's tough tickets right there.
It's also, I mean, it's like, remember the Super Bowl? This also happened, Mik'd will remember this, when Menard played Ash, one of our guys cut the lights off during the game.
On purpose?
We don't know. His story was he was on crutches and fell against the wall.
Okay.
But
Strike 3.
LSU.
All right, got out the inning, 4 runs. Not ideal.
None of which are
2
hits.
errors, four hits. All singles.
And I do have a curtain call, and I think this could be a group curtain call.
Okay.
It was a little bit prefaced today, but it hits different when you see it. And, buddy, nobody is happier
Love that.
to be in the red, white, and blue than this man. He might do the flyover.
No doubt. That'd be amazing, wouldn't it be?
And jump out, parachute down, and
throw the first
Throw the first pitch. Love that. I will.
I've never even seen him really smile.
I will piggyback on that.
Yeah, group.
Obviously, Team USA, Paul Skeens looks great in the colors. Also, Pat McAfee is in Scottsdale, and he had Bryce Harper on the show today, obviously in all of his USA uniform. Great exposure for baseball. We talked about that a couple weeks ago. How that was my curtain call was the World Baseball Classic. The fact that you're having Pat McAfee with the reach that he's got, showing love to baseball and having them show the personalities, because I don't think that there is a sport out there that has more personality than baseball.
Well, and one that's not shown.
Right, especially hidden personality. So I'll jump on that with you. Jared, you got one, or you want to jump on that?
Yeah, I got one too, because apparently we're sitting here watching this UCLA team who might be for real this year, so I'll give a little love. They have a young freshman there he started every game this year. He's hitting in their 8-hole, and on the season right now, through the start of this year, this man has all of, you can go ahead and guess it, 14 hits on the season. 12 of them are extra base hits. 10 of them are homers. He's got 3 multi-homer games
Wait,
this
he's got
year.
10 homers now?
He's got 10
Wow.
homers this year and 3 multi-homer games this year. And once again, he is hitting in their 8-hole.
And
Just to let you...
And before everybody says, oh, UCLA hasn't played anybody, false. UCLA has probably played the toughest schedule to date in the country. They have, let's see. Obviously,
UC San Diego for 3. They played TCU for 3, San Diego State, Tennessee for 1.
and Texas A&M, and Mississippi State.
A&M, Mississippi State, and that's the schedule as of right now. So,
Correct.
yeah, they played pretty strong ball clubs so far.
No doubt.
So Will Gasparino will get my curtain call, because that is not only a hell of a start to a season, that's a hell of a start to a college career. And if that is what is hitting in your 8-hole, keep a lookout for UCLA as they go.
So
down
he is a freshman, right?
Number 1 prospect. Yeah, he's a freshman.
Okay, because this
they have number 1 prospect, but this is ridiculous right now.
this graphic says a junior, but I do believe he's a freshman. I think that's a typo.
Yes.
That's a typo. All right. I'm sorry we had to cut you short. That's all we got. Enjoy the game. Enjoy the comeback that LSU's about to have.
6 runs.
Important inning for this offense. Scratch a couple runs across. Long inning. Do not want a quick inning.
He'll take some pitches.
It's 2-0. Shift got him right into it. It would have been a base hit. Not a base hit. To get another ball hit hard, but gotta somehow scratch a run across to kind of get some momentum back. All right. That's all we got for you this Monday. We'll see you on Wednesday live in studio. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube channel if you can't watch us, but you like listening to us anywhere you get your pods. We love y'all. We appreciate y'all. Sorry. Got to go feed my son. See you on Wednesday. Peace.
Double fireworks. More fireworks. What?